Good evening from me and my 77 Thunderbird once again. We're back here with Project Ruby. This time I will be replacing the trunk key lock cylinder, as I do not have the keys for this either. So just in case there's a hard time seeing it, actually doing it, how this sits in here, it just goes in from the back here, and then there is a retaining tab similar to this that snaps down and holds it in place. So what I'm going to try to do, instead of unbolting the latch part of it so I can try to avoid realigning it, I'm going to try to just hit this up and out down there and then slide this out without removing the entire latch, and I'll hopefully try to get a good view of that. So here we have the back of the key lock cylinder, then here's that tab I'm talking about. I'll try to push that up. Safety prongs on it, see if I can push those over. Now these two little safety tabs are fighting me. It looks like there's two more little safety tabs here at the bottom, so I'm gonna have to just take this latch out. These particular bolts are 7/16. Okay, so with this off, we can see that there's just a little rod in here. All this does is turn. So this is just how these work. You turn this, and it releases. Latched. Released. With the latch now removed, now we can see better this retaining tab that I was talking about. I got these two safety retaining tabs pushed in. There's kind of two more here. There's one's released, one's kind of caught. Let's see if I can scooch him over a little. So I apologize about the bad angle, but now with this removed, this whole assembly comes off. Well, so now there's another little safety clip in here. This particular one is riveted into the trunk lid. So as we can see, I have one more lock tab, or whatever you want to call it. I bent this tab up for the reason of I could not get it to stay straight here in the middle of it for it to go through. And that's okay, because I don't need it to come out. I just need it to go down further. So I have a drill and some drill bits. I'm going to drill out these rivets, and I will replace them with bolts and nuts. There we go, with our rivets removed. This thing comes down. Like I said, I don't need it out, I just need it down. And then the lock cylinder will come out just like this. So now with our cylinder removed, we have to use this lock rod right here. This, you can obviously tell, is at a very different angle from the other one. Easy enough to remove. Once again, I'm going to mark the orientation of, like how there's some metal meat up here, not down below. And slip that out of the spring just like that, and then reinstall it on my new unit here. I got this bolt and nut and two washers from the hardware store. Got two sets of them for 3 cents, which is pretty cool. They don't quite fit in the hole, so I'm just going to drill this out a tad bigger. Goes through that, but not the trunk. So I'm going to go ahead and install this. This rod points up, got the same orientation, have the seal that came with it here in the back of it. We'll have the retaining tab under both ears of the lock cylinder. Having a hard time getting it pushed on. Forgive my use once again of a construction hammer. I know, highly inappropriate for automotive. now that's secured in there, it's where it's supposed to be. Now I'm on to installing the bolts and nuts that I got over at the hardware store for 3 cents. These fortunately are metric, but they'll work just fine. I'm going to put the bolt head on the outside here so I don't have to look at the nub on the back side. That pushed in there. I'm going to have bolt, washer, nut. Key-lock cylinder is secure. So next we have another retainer piece and another retaining clip. That right there. Get this behind both ears of the lock cylinder. Push it in. Bend both of these tabs back over. Next we have our latch assembly itself. You're going to be putting this rod here through this hole. Going to make sure it's straight. Going to line up these old washer marks on the latch as best I can to help avoid the latch alignment being right the first time instead of trying to move it around and get it right. Try to get that pretty good, and I'm going to tighten those all down. Giving these an even tightening, not just tightening one arc first. Alright, got them all run down. Now I'll get them all a little snug. So now, before you close this for the first time, make sure it works so you don't have to break into the trunk like I did the first time. I took the rear seat out, got a really long extension, and unbolted the striker so I wouldn't have to actually break anything. So that was how I got the trunk open. But you can see when this latch hits the striker, this just pushes up and it locks right there. Then it won't come back down. So when you turn the key, that should release, which it does. So let's see if we have any alignment. Nope. I had this striker level before, it's pushed down, so this may not have been tight enough. I'm going to bring this all the way up, as high as it'll go, tighten it down. Get it tighter than I did before. I don't want to pull threads out of it, but if it moves, it's not tight enough, I guess. Try it again. Here we go. It latched, but I don't think it's down all the way. Whoops. That's against the seal, but it did work. I think this needs to go down just a little tiny bit. Okay, let's try that. I like that a lot better. You can see that the whole trunk gets pushed that way when it gets latched. And I have not taken this trunk lid off, so it being misaligned, I don't believe that's an issue. Though that gap on the other side is bigger, though I'm pretty sure this car was wrecked in the right side. Well, so since the trunk's trying to go this way, I'm gonna see if I can loosen these bolts and jam this over a little bit. Ooh, can, but way too far. Try that. I could just do that, shut it, let it align where it wants to be, and tighten it down and see where I get. Let's try that. Let's see if that's where it wanted to be. Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. The trunk's not getting pushed over to the right anymore, so that worked. Shuts really, really nice. If you liked this video or it helped you out in some way, feel free to like and subscribe. Okay, so I apologize about the bad angle, but and don't worry, this was broke before I started. I did not just do this because I used the wrong hammer. I actually think I have another one of these. I might be okay. Now it's just a Thunderbird beard, or it's just a yard.